Hey guys, I'm Dimension Jumper and today I'll be reviewing Luigi's Mansion 3, which was released on the 31st of October of 2019. Now, the main plot of this game is that Luigi, Peach, Mario and several Toads are going to this hotel for a bit of a vacation or break or something, and then Luigi later finds out that all of the staff are ghosts and that the main hostess of the hotel works for King Boo, and it's up to Luigi, Polterpup and Professor Egad, with Luigi using the poltergeist to basically find every single ghost and basically just defeat them and also defeat King Boo. Now, this game is somewhat refreshing because this game takes a character like Luigi and puts him into an environment that you don't normally find him in. And I think that's really interesting because Luigi's known as somewhat cowardly. He's also known as number 2. He's the younger brother of Mario, and I think that the Luigi's Mansion series is somewhat refreshing and sees what Luigi can do without the help of Mario, and also you don't have to play the other Mario games to play any of the Luigi's Mansion games. You can just play this game and have a fun time with it. And what I like about the hotel in the game is that you can go to different floors, you can find various ghosts, you can also find various different gems that are associated with that floor, and I think that's like one of the cool collectibles of the game, mainly because you have to look through every nook and cranny to find those different gems, and then also finding the different ghosts and the different ways you can defeat them and stuff like that. And also you get the help of Luigi, which is basically a gooier version of Luigi and has some pretty funny scenes. For example, there's one scene in which a ghost basically tries to scare Luigi, but for some reason the ghost doesn't understand that Luigi is just goo, and I think that's one of the funny scenes of the game, mainly because of how Luigi is basically just a pile of goo that just acts very differently from Luigi, kind of like a less scared Luigi. I don't know, but I do really enjoy a lot of the stuff. And now it's time for some gameplay. So one of the cool things about this game is that whenever you go into the elevator and choose a particular floor, let's say if I chose the 3rd floor, this entire elevator is one big loading screen. So I think that's one of the cool things about this game, because you don't really notice it that this is an actual loading screen, and I think that's a really interesting feature. And so you can basically go to the different floors, have a look about, you can do a lot of things in the game, and I think that's I think the exploration of this game is sort of interesting, because you have to find different ways to find different ghosts, find different ways to try and use your powers. So for example, if I wanted to go through here, I would just use Luigi and make him pass through the bars, and then just have him collect different things. So let's say I want to click this, then I'll just click that. And also he can do things that Luigi might not be able to do. So he can apart from going through bars, he can also go through grates, pipes, that's on the side of a wall or something like that. And yeah, I think that's really interesting. And also with the poltergeist, you can do various things, you can do this, you can try and take things. If you press the X button, you can activate this sort of light thing that can find hidden doors or objects. I think it's really interesting because you might find different secrets and areas that you might not have accessed before on previous floors. And then you can activate those secret areas and just fight different ghosts. These small ghost things, I've kind of forgot what they were, but if you defeat all of them, you will be able to activate the door and also try and get the secrets, like a specific gem of the floor, or find a specific ghost that you can fight. And yeah, and also if I can find if I can remember where the boss was, if I'm on the right floor. I could be on the wrong floor. I might be on the wrong floor. But you can also fight different ghosts and stuff like that. I could be on the wrong floor, so I'm gonna check out floor 4, because I think that's where the boss of that floor is. Because I'm gonna show you some specific ways of how to fight ghosts, and show you how to fight them and stuff like that. So yeah, and I really do enjoy these loading screens. And also, if I can get to the here, okay. So and this the menu is based off the Virtual Boy. And instead of it being called the Virtual Boy, it's called the Virtual Boo. And I do like the in-game joke of Professor Ika saying, "Oh, it's going to fly off the shelves," even though the Virtual Boy did not sell that well when it was released back either in the 80s or 90s. I can't exactly remember when it was sold, but that's like a cool in-game joke of how of Nintendo just talking about like the old failed consoles. So yeah, and now I'm going to show you how to show you how to fight the boss of this particular floor. So as I said before, each floor has a different boss ghost. And so for example, this guy is a pianist. He's a pianist ghost, and I think that's sort of cool because like each floor is representative of their specific what's going on the floor. So yeah, I think that's cool. And this floor is based on music, and you have to try and avoid all the chairs, and then also try and avoid the piano that the ghost is playing at. And yeah, and and also if you heart, and you can find you can see and if you try and try and take all of these, I think they're trophies or marks or something. I can't exactly remember, but if you try and collect them, or try and suck them into the poltergeist, you'll get a heart so that they can replenish your health, that sort of stuff. And also you can find money underneath the chairs. So yeah, and I do enjoy their voices of the ghosts, because each of them have their own personality. So yeah, I do enjoy the personalities of the ghosts because of how distinct they are, and how their flaws are just somewhat interesting. And if you want to try and catch a ghost, you have to try and use the light. So if, let's say on this ghost, but some ghosts have might have particular eyes from the light. So try and get them off. And also, but you can get it right. You can hit ghosts with other ghosts. I think that's quite cool. So let me try it. No. So. And yeah, so let's say you want to use this ghost on hit the other ghost. So let's try this again. Oh, and you can also talk up multiple ghosts as well. So I think that's quite cool. I think that's somewhat interesting, because you can just make the battle a lot easier and a lot faster. So yeah, I think that's really cool for what you can do with a thing. And also you've got 99 health, hit points, and I think you could have at least got 100. I kind of wish you got 100, just so you can have that one bit of health left. And also, the golden bones that are next to the hearts is basically an extra life. So, for example, if you're going against like a boss and you fall in battle, then Pop will bring you back to life. And also each boss has like different attack patterns. Like for example, the piano ghost guy just jumps up and you try and avoid the things. And also he sends out shockwaves. I kind of forgot about the shockwaves. I really forgot about the shockwaves. And so yeah, I'd say if you want to avoid the guy, just also he sends out bombs, and also if you can also shoot them towards him. So if I can suck one of them, and then throw. No, okay. Okay, this is tricky. And to talk about the game and fight this boss. Ow, hearts, gimme. Yep. And here comes the shockwave. There we go. So yeah, I'd say just try and avoid the shockwaves as much as possible. And if I can get the if I can, there we go. So yeah, for this particular boss battle, you have to try and get the bombs within thing and try and aim. There we go, and then use a Bodygeist to suck up the plunger, and then just hit thing. I think that's quite cool. And then try and find the guy who's somewhere. There he is, and also bosses have like a lot of health, like because they're bosses. So then there, and you basically have to repeat that. So that's it for the gameplay. Now it's time to go back to the review. So the bosses of the game are quite interesting because every single one is variant, and each one is significant to that specific floor that Luigi's on. So for example, there's a pianist, there's a chef, there's a security guard, and there's a variety amount of other bosses that you can find throughout the different floors. And each boss has a different elevator button to get to the next floor. And I think that's really interesting of how bosses do, or how you fight bosses, because you're getting different buttons to get to different floors, and that means you can explore new areas and collect more stuff. And also I do really enjoy how the combat works, because you can, if you're playing single player, you can use Luigi but also Luigi, and you can go through different things, stuff like that. But whenever you're using the Poltergeist, you can either suck up ghosts, use it to let's say try and turn like a switch or something, or use it to move objects around on a specific floor. And I think that's really cool, because then you got a variety of different weapons on your arsenal that you can use, and it's kind of like what Luigi could use, and he can use throughout the game. And later on you can find booze that you can find throughout the game, and every time we find a ghost or a boo, you can suck them up and try and hit them. You can sort of do a sort of swing, a swing, and then every time they hit the floor they take damage, and also they take damage when you try and suck them up into the poltergeist. And also once you've collected a ton of ghosts, you can always go back to Professor Egad and always put the ghost into this gallery, which I think is one of the cooler parts of the game, or also sort of an interesting part of the game, because of the way you can look at the ghosts. So you can look at bosses, normal ghosts, boos, rare ghosts, that sort of stuff, and you can just look at the ghosts and see how many you have caught and how many you have left. So this game is also multiplayer. You can play up to with 7 other people, and with that you can find other ghosts that you might normally find in the main game. I think that's okay, I guess, because you might not have found everything, and you might want to try out different modes and stuff like that. And also, if you don't want to play with like other people, you can always play with a friend or a family member, like a brother or sister. And you can use, player 1 might play as Luigi and player 2 might play as Luigi, and you can have like a fun time finding other ghosts on a particular floor, or fighting together on a particular boss floor or room or whatever, and you can have an awesome time. And I do enjoy. I really enjoy this game because of how everything works, and also throughout the game you will find money as a currency, because at the very end of the game, if you have a specific amount of money, the hotel gets destroyed, and you can have it rebuilt, and depending on how much money you have, you'll get different versions of the hotel, and if, like, let's say you've got like £100 or something in the Luigi in currency in the game, you might have like a not so good hotel, but the more money you get, the better hotel you get and the better rank you get. So I think that's really interesting of how you use and find the money, because not only can you do that, but you can also find items from Professor Egad. So I would suggest like using the money sparingly, and hopefully you can get a cool rank. And yeah, so that's been my review for Luigi's Mansion 3. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.